Okay, guys, we're gonna do an update on MGOL as there's a lot of people that are in this. I'm gonna just go over the chart here. This really does suck that this has just like been going down drastically like this. A lot of people I've noticed when you seem so overconfident, it just keeps going down, right? And I did not get into this trade just because I get really scared when I see a downtrend stock. I'll show you guys the chart for MGOL. When I see a downtrend stock with the EMA 20 above and the 50, it's really hard because a lot of these kind of stocks, they just keep getting shorted. And I've done a lot of these type of plays in the past, and when when you when you're not picky and you try to just be like, you know what, it's close enough to this lower Keltner channel, that's when you really can get wrecked. And when I'm seeing this, and it's not just based on this Keltner channel, I like to use the time distance rule. I played a stock way back. I'll show you GWAV way back. And if I did exactly this, I would have made massive money, right? Let me show you GWAV. You see how, you know, you could have just kept buying this and every dip and dip. But if you waited for GWAV, to come here with, hit this lower band a couple of times and then wait for that time distance, you would have been fine as you would have got way down in here. Whereas a lot of people got in here and I took a fast loss. Not every stock is going to go your way. So don't try to be the person that just, says you have to be right. It's okay to be wrong. I took a 15% loss on ABAT. It is absolutely fine. We don't know what's exactly is going to happen. And but you do want to start your entries when it definitely gets to this lower band, or the best plays or was when it hugs it a little bit. But also you need to look at this EMA 5 and be like, well, we need to give this at least 5 daily candles. I know it's not going to happen a lot. It's not going to happen often, but there's a guy in my Discord that does exactly this. What I suggest with giving it the time distance roll. And he did exactly. His name is Short. He did exactly that with SLXN. When you look at SLXN, why did it go up massive? I mean, look at this massive pump it had from 58 cents all the way to a buck 60 is because there was that EMA 5 TD. The EMA 5 TD is the most important thing because we know price has to come back up to these EMAs, and sometimes they can go from all the way from the bottom to the 20, and that's what happens. But look at it, when you gave it that time distance, price hurry ups and comes back up. And for MGOL, we just left the EMA 5, and it's kind of one of those things where a lot of people probably got overconfident, and I didn't want to alert it. I did like this double bottom. I was like, you know what, this is a nice double bottom area where you could hit. But the problem is when you go to in heavy of these, you see you're minus 10%, and you're like, oh, I want to just break even now, right? And then you see you're minus 20%, and you're like, oh, I can't take the loss now. And then you're seeing you're minus 30%, and you see the picture this gets when you get so bad off. Then you can't even take the loss now because it's so bad. You're like, yeah, I'm not taking that loss now. And that's the psychology of this. And what I like to do is before I even place the trade, when I'm in the trade, I usually love to put just the stop loss there, and obviously you got to have the discipline not to take it out. I always like 15% stop losses because usually that gives you enough wiggle room, and if it's too far off where you're like, if you're down 15%, now you just want to break even, and what if it goes even more? You could just play another trade, and that really avoids like the big unknowns in some of the tradings, because if the stock just has terrible news and it just keeps going down and it doesn't follow a typical pattern, like we see this double bottom here, a lot of people probably got in, and now for it to go back up to 36 cents, it needs to pump over 100%. This stock has lost tremendous value in a very short amount of time. Do I think this is, I mean, I don't want to be a financial advisor at all, but if you wait for that EMA 5 time distance, sure, it might pump up right away and you might miss it, but a lot of times it's going to save you from freaking disasters like this. And that's really how I look at it. And if you just strictly follow this big oversold patterns when it hits this lower Keltner channel, those are going to give you more of the better signals, where instead of just catching this thing right in here, it can prevent a lot of that. But yeah, if it don't touch the EMA 5 in 7 daily candles, it is long. So a lot of the times I tell people, the longer you wait, the better it is. Obviously, you're not going to get a tremendous amount of plays. That's why I follow the trend. I have a whole new strategy to follow the trend and how I look to do that. And I have lots of plays I could do every day doing that. But as something like MGOL, it is a riskier stock. It's quite below $1. We know they have to do an RS reverse split, and that's what's causing a lot of this. It's getting heavily diluted, and there's a lot of you can look at a lot of the news that's going on, but it just comes down to more. A lot when I see like bottomed out charts, this is really what has worked for me, and you really got to give it that extreme TD. And if it just doesn't work, then you need to respect a stop loss that you're comfortable with. Maybe 10%. If 15% is too much, maybe you can do 10%. And draw your data price range. If you bought it here at a double bottom, well, if it breaks that double bottom, it's going to keep going lower, unfortunately. And you can see like here's your 10%. You bought it at 34, and it comes down to 30. Now I do have a really good strategy on selling puts, and my bigger cap stock strategy has worked tremendous. It works a lot, and I get my bread and butter from that. And then my day trading strat is literally the best for volatility if you want to make money every day. The problem with these smaller cap stocks is that they fluctuate so much. I mean, look at that, 25%, 22%, 40%, and then after hours is down another 20%. It's just insane how they fluctuate. So you can get stopped out relatively fast. And that's why I tend to stay above the $1 region. I like to get as close as possible to that, so I don't have to worry about, because once you get below $1, then you get like terrible news all the time, right? Because there's a lot of risk involved. But yeah, if you're gonna buy MGOL, I know a lot of people are already in, and it's just really sucks. And don't take it too hard. It happens. I have plenty of strategies where you can get back your money back every day. You're gonna love my selling credit spread strategy. It's the safest thing ever. You don't have to deal with this bunch of baloney right in here, going down after hours 20%. And that's the downside with a lot of these really small caps is like they can go down after hours, and you have to constantly look at it and be like, shoot, in 15 minutes I lost 20%. So you would have taken more than a 15% stop loss here, but you want to take your stop loss and not worry about it. Okay, you can make 15 to 20% back pretty fast with small caps, but it's a two-edged sword. If you can make a lot, you can lose a lot. But if you're looking at this chart, yeah, we're due for the EMA 20. It has been 2 months. Right in here is 1126. It's 128. This stock has had history of magneting to this ATR4, this lower counter channel, and it could drop like that. But also it did this when there was not much volume, 54,000, 140, 261,000, whereas this is in the millions. We got 6 million, 11, now 30 million. Most of it's sell volume, but there's a lot of eyes on this stock. And I've seen that the short interest is really high, so this could skyrocket up. If this goes to the EMA 5, at this current price, we're at 12 cents. So the EMA 5 is located at 32 cents as we currently speak. So let's just say it goes to 32 cents. We're going to use the 15-minute chart. All the way up to 32 cents, you're looking at around 166% gain. Now, obviously, it's going to be impossible to catch the absolute bottom, but for these kind of plays, I would look to accumulate. This is the point where, once you hit 5 days of EMA, away from the EMA 5 TD, that's when you start accumulating. And I'd like to say, if you're willing to put let's say you put $1,000 in this, well, you would put like 300, and then we'll say a 400. And that's because you would keep averaging down on this lower band here, because its price is going to come back up to this area here. We have a massive gain. Or you could just do the one ad, but make sure you have a stop loss, because I don't want anyone to experience a downtrend stock that just keeps going down and down, and you trade one stock and you lose your whole count on it. I just because it's going to happen one way or another. It could be a bigger cap stock, it could be a small. It doesn't matter. If you think that you're just going to keep holding on this forever, and let's just say we got over a little confident and you got in on this candle or this candle, and price wasn't touching this lower band, price is just now leaving this EMA 5, and I've seen disaster things happen when we tend not to give this EMA 5 the time distance. So I mean, I'm not giving anyone a lecture. I've done this before too, and I lost a lot of money, and that's why I was really strict when I played ADTX, which is trading against the trend. When you see this type of pattern here, we had this massive EMA 20 time distance. And then you see right here, we had some EMA 5 TD right here. Price hits this lower band, and what happens is price tends to come up and hits these areas. You see how it gets away from it. Price will come back up to these areas, but this right here, I took a gamble here, and I'd be like, you know what? This is the same thing a lot of people probably did. This is, it could go down to this area, but I do have a stop loss of about 15%, right? So if price goes all the way down, it's no big deal, and I wouldn't keep trying again. And that's the point is this is no one's going to be right all the time. If you're wrong, make sure you cut the loss fast so that that way you could trade another day, because you don't want to just hold this stock and every day you have to wait for it to finally pump. And then when it does finally pump, you're just wishing for break even, and that's what it gets to the point of this. I try not to alert a lot of the trading against the trend stocks unless they're just like absolutely golden, like this is a stock to take the chance on. But right now, as you can see, it's a falling knife right now. There's no stabilization, there's no EMA 5 TD, so let's see what it actually does. We want to see price to kind of like consolidate or hit this a lower band a couple of times, give it that EMA 5 TD, and that's really what you look to. And then you could also look at the KDJ. If you have a 9.66, that's not as extremely oversold as you can think, right? That's not extremely oversold. A lot of the K values down here that I trade against the trend, I look for the area of 3. That is where I usually get those really nice dead cat bounces and those pre-market and after-hour runners. So yeah, I just wanted to share this. I know it's a longer video. If you guys do want to join the premium Discord, I try my best to only alert the best stocks that I see. I'm a little hesitant against trading against the trend unless it's really an A+ setup. I know we all should know every pump is going to get shorted on this. I've seen a lot of people that are in a lot of other stocks, and they just keeps going down and down. And this system right here, if you just give it the EMA 5 TD, it really will avoid a lot of that falling knife scenarios, right? And that's really what happened here. You see how right here we had that EMA 5 TD, and then you start to see consolidation. Then you see this massive pump up right here the next day. We don't know exactly when it's going to pump, but when you wait a couple candles, you start to see that. But look at the difference here. Look at the K value. It's in the 5 range. It's not at over 10 like up in here, right? So yeah, it's definitely a learning lesson for everyone. I'm not going to say, this is, just take it for granted. Take a loss if you need to. It sucks if you're way above a 20, 30, 40% loss, but you got to do the right thing. Once you do this, you just write on a sticky note and say, hey, I'll never go above a 15% loss. If it does that, then I did something wrong, and there's nothing to do about it. You just got to take the loss, move on, play another stock, and then once this goes down a lot, you're going to be like, wow, I'm glad I did do that. If you guys want to join the premium Discord, click the link down below in YouTube comments below, and in the description, it'll say join the premium Discord for my alerts. It'll take you to this free chat landing page. All you have to do if you want to become a member is hit Day Trade Alerts, which will opt you into subscribe for $12 a month, and you'll get access to everything. And I want to highly encourage you, if you're really just struggling in the market, give the day trading strategy I have a try. I am on over 11 wins in a row. It's the one strategy I wish everyone would try, but a lot of people would be like, man, it's just too complicated. If you put a little bit of effort into this strategy, I promise you will have an over 90% win ratio. You can make money every day, and depending on your account size, and it can potentially double every month. Low risk, over 90% win ratio. And then I also have a swing trading strategy where you follow the trend, and you can play trades like this against the trend. But I have a very great system on how to do it, where I have a lot of education, really how do you get close to the bottom. Obviously, I was thinking that, maybe if, a lot of people are saying, what do you think about MGOL? The first comment I see, and this is where market makers get a lot of people, is, yeah, I see double bottom. There's a great chance of that pumping up. Totally wrong, right? No big deal. You take your 15% stop loss and move on. Just don't even play it again. You don't want to keep chasing your losses. It's just not worth it. But if you guys want to join the Discord, hit the day trade alerts when you come in. You'll get access to everything. And it's only 12 bucks a month. I'm going to show you guys strategies that work, and I'm going to alert all these plays in the Discord. Not everything's going to work, but I promise you, you're going to have a much higher win rate. You're going to be more consistent. You're going to be more confident in your trades. And it's going to really come down to your risk management is what I'm pretty much hinting at on this MGOL trade is, do you just let one trade wipe out all your winners? You can have over 50 wins in a row, but this one trade right here could wipe out a whole account because you had no risk management and you just kept saying 10%, 20%, and then now that if you're down 50%, then you're like, yes, it's too late now. I don't even care. I'm just gonna hold it. And that's kind of the mentality we need to go away from is nip it in the butt when it's early, right? But I hope you guys liked the video. Join the Discord. I promise you, you're gonna love the day trading. It's the one strategy that can turn around anybody's account if you're just willing to learn how I sell credit spreads. I love being a selling of options. I make lots of money doing it, and it's my highest win rating strategy. As long as you're willing to learn it, it's not that confusing. But hope you guys liked the video. Give a like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.